General Alexander versus General Kwai, but we're not allowed to build any units. So no units from the command center, supply center, war factory, airfield, and barracks. The dozer we've got out right now, that's the only dozer we're using to build stuff. So right now we got a dozer building a power plant at the moment. We're going to be building a supply center. Now, building a supply center, a Chinook pops out of the supply center, so that does not break the rules. I'm not building the Chinook, I'm building a supply center, which pops out a Chinook. Anyway, so this is going to be a bit of an interesting challenge, because without building any units, it means, well, the only other way to really attack is through general powers and super weapons. So you're probably thinking that I built like 20 billion particle cannons and finished him off, but not quite. I did build particle cannons, but not that many. So right now, my strategy is simple. We're going to use our one and only dozer to build up our defense. Now, General Kwai is probably one of the better generals to go up against, because he doesn't have too many patterns to really exploit. Unlike, you know, some of the other generals, say like with Granger or Dr. Thrax. He's also got a bunch of different tells. Not to mention his pathing on vehicles is terrible. But yeah, my game plan was to build maybe about 5 or 6 Patriots, because these Patriots are the EMP version, so I know that I'm going to be able to shut down his vehicles. The main concern though is the planes. The planes like to aim at dozers, which is one of my biggest concerns going into this. So I wanted to try and figure out a way to basically find something to bait the MiGs without them destroying my one and only dozer. That was the strategy I had going into it, and my only idea was fire bases.
I'll build anywhere. On the job.
We are approaching your base, General. Prepare yourself. We've breached your defenses, General. Now your factories will begin to fall.
So I got the first wave of attacks coming in. Now, I was able to get off 5 EMP Patriots, but I did leave my right side a little bit unguarded, so that was a bit of a cause for concern. But I had no choice really, because I was starting to run low on power, so I needed to get another power plant on board. Also, the power plant that's already been upgraded is a bit vulnerable to attacks, so that's why I went for getting another power plant on board as well. So we're just dealing with the waves of attacks. I've got one Chinook getting the resources. Now, I could have built another supply center to get another Chinook on board, but I felt like because we're not building any units at all, I thought the one Chinook would have been enough to get me by resource-wise. So now we're getting some fire bases going. And yeah, 2 reasons for fire bases. One, I was hoping that it would draw some of the MiG fire away from my dozer. The second reason is the infantry. Now, the infantry are a little bit annoying, because they like to they just like to run through your defenses and just aim at your dozer. So I've got both planes and infantry to worry about. Even a Red Guard can pose a threat to my one and only dozer. I cannot afford to lose him right now. See, there we go. We got one Red Guard. Now, I was also thinking about using the Chinook as a way to get my dozer, you know, out of danger, but even the MiGs can attack a Chinook, which did actually happen later on. For some reason my Chinook was one of the targets for the MiG attacks, which doesn't normally happen, but I think because I've got less things to work with, that's why the MiG aimed there in the first place. So yeah, I did let one of my fire bases get destroyed. I was too distracted by everything else going on, so that was a mistake on my part. But it wasn't too big of an issue, because we still got the EMP Patriots to deal with the vehicles anyway. And since the dozer's away from everything else going on that side, it does mean that I've got some time to get the dozer out of harm's way. So yeah, pretty much game plan now is just to keep the defenses alive, and then hopefully we can expand to a war factory, which I'm about to do, and then get a strategy center and particle cannons. Now I built the war factory like that just so my dozer has easy access to the repair plant that's on the war factory, because my dozer had taken a few hits and I wasn't leaving anything to chance. I wanted my dozer to remain alive as long as possible. So yeah, I've got my dozer going in for repairs, even though it's not a lot, and then I think I was gonna build a strategy center. That's exactly what I did. Now with the strategy center, my plan for that was to go for bombardment. So bombardment has the cannon on it, so that can also act as a way of defense as well. So instead of relying on just fire bases, I can also use the strategy center to do the job. And see, the Red Guard also tried to take a shot at my dozer, but it was an easy way to run it over. So my first attack is with the A-10s. Now, the reason why I aimed it at the base defenses is because I want to lure out the dozers. So General Kwai, he has 3 dozers. Now, the game plan for our big attack coming up later is we want to destroy the command center plus all 3 of those dozers in one fell swoop. Once we do that, he's pretty much fair game to beat later on. Yep, so we just got the bombardment, and we also went for the cash upgrade as well, just so we can get the resources up just that little bit faster. That way, and also we don't need to build the extra supply center too. Now my dozer's starting to build up the particle cannon. That's going to be the first one.
Are you protecting your flanks, General? Why don't we have a look?
Our base is being attacked.
All hope is gone now, General. Surrender or die.
I stopped building my particle cannon at 99%. Now the reason why I've done that is because when you build a super weapon, that triggers Kwai into building his own super weapon. And it can get a little bit weird because Kwai can actually build 2 nukes on top of one another, so I wouldn't want to have to deal with 2 nukes. So what we're doing is we're just going to build up our particle cannons to 99% and then build up enough power plants to keep everything maintained. And then once we're finally ready, we'll get each particle cannon up to 100% all in one go. That way, once they're ready, I can do one big attack on Kwai later on, and also have that guarantee of dealing with the nuclear missile later on too. So we've just been maintaining our defenses, shooting down helixes and MiGs as well. So the MiGs have been aiming at the War Factory and the Strategy Center, and also my Chinook too, which I mentioned earlier. So my Chinook's less than half health. Thankfully, it's still good enough to get some supplies going. We got our second particle at 99%. Now, just got to wait on our resources to get to 2,500 for the third particle cannon. See, those MiGs, they go down very easy against those EMPs. And as I was saying to you before, some of these MiGs are aiming at the fire bases, which was part of the plan. I wanted the fire bases to be cannon fodder. Now, I went with the fuel air bomb and the inspector because I need more attacking options, and I also chose the paradrop. Now, the paradrop doesn't break the rules of the challenge because I'm not building ranges. They're being dropped from the sky out of a plane. So again, not a rule break. So I just got our dozer going in for repairs. So I did delay the third particle cannon that we're going to build, but I didn't want to take the chance of building a particle with a half health dozer because I knew that another MiG strike would take it out. And see, those are the 3 dozers I was telling you about, so they're all in one spot. So once I finally build a particle cannon, Kwai is going to send one of those dozers to build the nuke. So I got to keep in mind that he's got 1 dozer there, 2 dozers where the defenses are, then what is at the command center. And the A-10, the fuel air bomb, the inspector gunship, they're all going to be used to try and wipe out the nuke and wipe out the dozers. And then that way when we get the next round of attacks later on, we can start focusing on the war factories and all these other production and take away his teeth.
You're a sword, General, but I'm beginning to wonder if it will ever come.
Yep, so I've just built the first particle and I've just done the first paradrop. So the reason why I went for the paradrop in the first place is just for that extra bit of defense. And it's also very good at dealing with the red guard strikes. So we built the other 2 particle cannons, so I got 3 particle cannons, all with 4-minute timers, and that's going to be my offense. I actually didn't build any more particle cannons after that. So I didn't build 20, didn't build 10, just 3. That's all you need. I decided to, because I've got some money to play with, to bolster my defense, because I think I needed it. Now we've got the nuclear missile getting constructed right now. I wanted to try and wait before using my A-10 strike. I wanted to try and time it. I was trying to time it in a way where I could destroy the dozer and get as much damage on the nuke, and also be able to use the particles. I was trying to factor it all in one go, and thankfully it went pretty well, but it was cutting it close. So we've aimed the first attack on the nuclear missile. So that's strictly going for the nuclear missile itself, and then later on I used the A-10 strike to the inspector gunship to try and pick off that dozer.
Nuclear missile silo detected.
Acquiring new target.
Unit lost.
Yep. So since the dozer moved out of the way, I couldn't get to the but my inspector gunship got through there. And now, because I've destroyed one dozer, that means a new dozer is going to come out of the command center, putting Kwai's total back up to 3. But we do also have the Moab, which we do use. And see what I was telling you about? Kwai is building a nuke on top of a nuke. I didn't really have a lot of options but to use the Moab. I would have preferred to try and clear out any Gatling tanks on the way, but I kind of had to attack. Otherwise, I would have probably been nuked later on. Or I probably would have had to resort to using one of my 3 particle cannons, which probably wouldn't have gone well for me either, because I might not have had enough to destroy the command center and the dozers with just 2 particles.
We're in your base, General. Your defenses were inadequate.
So my particle cannons are about to be ready. Now, I was very close to firing them, but in the end I actually changed my mind. So the reason why I changed my mind was because I wanted to wait on my satellite scan to scan the map, and I also wanted to wait on my A10's inspector and now Moab, and I wanted to do that so then I had every option possible to go in on the attack against General Kwai, because I really wanted to make sure the command center and all 3 dozers got swept up by the first big attack that I had, and then the next round of particles can hopefully finish the job. That was my thought process at the time. Now, yeah, I've got some red guards invading my base, unfortunately. But I think I used the next paradrop in that section just to bolster my defense against red guards. So yeah, paradrops were purely infantry defense overall. So yeah, we're just playing the waiting game, waiting on our satellite scan to be ready. It's nearly there. The A10s are also going to be ready. Moab had a little bit of time, but I don't think I actually needed the Moab in the end. I think I actually was a bit preemptive in my strike. We'll see in a minute. And yeah, here we go. Now we're ready. So we aimed 2 particles right at the command center. Took our eyes off that. Used the satellite scan. We used the A10 on that dozer where the defenses are, and then the 3rd particle on the 3rd dozer. Also took out a Gatling cannon and the prop center, so prop center gone, no more overlords to deal with us. And I tried to go for the war factory, but it wasn't quite enough.
This will be your last chance to prove yourself,
So
General.
good news is I was able to do that attack all in one go, and that dozer that got hit by the A10 didn't move. That was the one thing I was really worried about, was if the dozer would move towards the command center and build a new command center. So yeah, I was a bit late, but we finally got the paradrop on the right side of my defense. So they're now going to play defense and hopefully let my EMPs recover a little bit. But now that that's done, all we're going to do is wait on our next round of particle cannons to be ready, and then we can start aiming at the war factory, the barracks, the airfield. So we just got to hold on for a little bit longer. So I used my inspector gunship on their defenses because I wanted to I wanted to be able to get my planes into his base later on for the next strike. And I knew sending the inspector way into the base wasn't going to work either, so I figured I'll take what I can get. And I decided to do the advanced training upgrade, and I have no dozer, by the way. So what you see is what I got. Oh, wow, he's got a lot of infantry going there. Like me watching this back, I actually get to, you know, react to some things like that I did right, some things that I did wrong. And yeah, he's prioritizing the strategy center now. I think that might just be more because it's got the cannon on the end. I'm not entirely sure, or maybe he's going off cash value. Yeah, we got our Moab. I was trying to pick a target. I wasn't quite sure where to aim the thing because I knew it was going to get shot down if I sent it too far into his base. So in the end, I ended up... I think I used it on a couple of his base defenses. Again, just to whittle down the resistance for the planes that I would send in later on. That was my thought process going into it, thinking, oh yeah, we'll send some A-10s and some Moabs, take out the war factory, take out the barracks, etc. But we also have 3 particle cannons. I'm not exactly used to playing with particle cannons or just any super weapons. I try and not use any super weapons at all when I do the challenges, just because I find it a little bit cheap. In a way, I find it cheap and boring using super weapon spam. And yeah, I totally could have built like another 3 or 4 particle cannons just based off the cash that I've got floating right now, and probably extra cash I'd have later on. But again, I let my dozer die, and I just had to work with what I had. So next round of particles, of course, we aim for the war factory, we aim for the barracks. We're just getting rid of all of his offensive options, and then after that we can use whatever general powers, whatever particle cannons we got to finish him off.
Particle cannon activated.
Tanks! Build more tanks!
Clear the area.
Unit lost.
Soon the field will fill with tanks. My tanks. Another battalion is on its way, General. Please make them feel welcome.
Unit lost.
nice base, General. Care to surrender it?
Particle cannon ready. Particle cannon activated.
Ah, this is the part of the battle I enjoy the most. The part just before I finish off my enemy.
We have them.
So we're just finishing him off now. If you'd like to give me a 0-hour challenge, comment down below. If you'd like to see more Command and Conquer content, check out my playlist. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
You are victorious.
You may have defeated my tanks, General, but the Tigress will crush you like an insect.